Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into Homunculus Gaming, and this is Blacklight Retribution. Blacklight Retribution is a free-to-play first-person shooter ran on a microtransaction business model, similar to Tribes in business model but not gameplay. However, there are some things that Tribes could take notes from on the business side. Also, just as a side note, this game pulls off its aesthetic very, very well. It has a sort of cyberpunk, I want to say almost Ghost in the Shell kind of feeling, and it does it incredibly. Even the loading screens are interesting to look at. Sure, it gets old, but anyway. So in the weapon customization screen, you see that basically everything on your gun can be changed. And all of these changes actually alter how the gun performs. And usually most of these run about 15 Zen, which is the substitute for real money currency, and the conversion rate is roughly 100 Zen for every $1. So most of these are a couple cents, it seems. But when you go in here, you see that these are for a rental. You can actually rent guns or attachments in this game for a few days or buy it permanently. So for a few days, it's like 15 cents for this barrel. Pretty reasonable. And then if you want to buy it permanently, $2.50, which is I want to say that's a little too much. It obviously depends on where you come from economically, but it's just, I don't know. It seems like if they reduced it down to a couple bucks and just increased the number of options there were, they'd sell a ton more. Impulse buyers are really what this business model has a great potential to target, and I suppose the best example of impulse buyers is a grocery store. A lot of grocery stores are cleverly laid out in a way that put items in front of you that you're more likely to buy that you weren't planning on coming to when you're just standing around. For instance, you're trying to find the cereal aisle and you're walking around, and you stop and look down the aisle to see if the cereal's there, and on the end of the aisle there's a pack of gum, which might be a couple cents. Oh yeah, I didn't plan on buying gum when I came here, but since it's only several cents, I might as well just pick it up. Or when you're standing at the checkout and you're waiting for the person in front of you that's taking a horrendously long time, you start glancing around and you see that all these things around you that are only 75 cents, a dollar, $1.25, almost just pocket change money, and you decide to pick it up. That's what I believe these kind of business models should be run off of. A free-to-play game appeals to a demographic that doesn't really want to go out and drop 60 bucks on the latest shooter, but over time they can become more and more dedicated to your game by investing hundreds and hundreds of hours, and then they'll be much more accepting to the idea of spending a couple bucks on changing a gun skin or buying a new piece of cosmetic armor, and then over time that'll add up. These really micro transactions aren't something that Hi-rez has spent a lot of effort capitalizing on. Actually, looking at this, $7.50 for a gun is pretty horrendously expensive, but it's something by no means it's perfect, but Hi-rez could put a lot more effort into capitalizing a low budget demographic. I don't want it to sound like milk us more, Hi-rez. It's just that a lot of the things in the game right now that are cosmetic or things that you get outside of just gun unlocks are pretty limited. The only really cheap thing in Tribes at the moment is the voice packs, and those are kind of novelty, like selling them on a gimmick, and they're also pretty terrible. Like that Australian voice, just it's bad. But it'd be really cool to see things like these weapon tags, just little cosmetic things that hang off your gun. You can get a coffee cup, which increases run speed. Coffee always good. These do little marginal changes, but it's just an interesting thing that people spend money on. It's $1, and if you spend, I don't know, 100 hours using this gun, you're gonna want to change it up a little bit. And also skins, there's a good range on prices. Some of these run $1.50 $2, all the way up to some of the most expensive are $5. And that's a good swath for targeting everyone in your demographic. I mean, some people are going to have $1.50 disposable income and some will have $5. But you want to be able to have products for all these people. It's actually kind of difficult to say how a rental system would do in tribes. The only way I could see it backfiring is if people start to rent guns for extended periods of time instead of actually paying the full price of them. But Hi-rez could incentivize people to actually purchase a gun for full price if they don't make progress towards the mastery upgrades if they use it while it's rented. And it might be good for new players where somebody thinks, ooh, I think I might want to play with a plasma gun, but God forbid they use it. But they're not sure if they want to spend all this XP they just worked so hard on grinding out on this one gun. What if they buy it and they end up hating it and it's not what they want to use? So it adds this kind of interesting new dynamic where people can try things before they want to buy them. Novelty for business, right? But it might even be helpful for people that have been playing tribes a long time but don't have a lot of time to invest it every week or so. The new twin features come out and they want to buy them, but they don't have a lot of time to grind them out, so they're able to rent them if that's a more cost-effective solution for them. Adding some sort of armor customization feature to tribes would be pretty awesome, and I think a lot of people would jump on the opportunity to make their soldier look slightly different than everybody else's. Gamers love to feel unique, individualized, not just another soldier on another battlefield in another game. They want to feel like they're someone that's important to be there. Feeding into that desire could really improve the game. For instance, if they added more flexibility in purchasing certain parts of some of the skins. For instance, if you wanted, say, the Raider shoulder pads, you want that skull, you can buy it for a smaller price than the entire skin and put it on your Raider. If you didn't want to look at the hands or you didn't like other parts of it, you're still able to customize your soldier and feel unique without having to dish out. It just feels like at the moment there's not much incentive to buy unless you want to get a boost or you particularly love a skin or just want to troll people by spamming VGS. And even if you really do love a skin, the problem is you never really see it. You're in first person, so you're looking at your gun, your hands, hopefully the enemy. And unless you die, you never see this thing you paid for. Adding gun customization, like little doodads hanging off your gun, or possibly camos for your gun, different skins for your gun, being able to add different colors to the ammo LCD displays, are all things that people would be more attracted to buying, as they would take less development time to make, so they would be cheaper, people would see them more often from a first person perspective, and they would make players feel unique. I would really love to see more of these aesthetic options added to the game, but I don't think that adding stats to the options would be a good move. Tribes just doesn't strike me as the kind of game that would work well with these different types of shoulder pads giving you different speed, or these boots giving you more armor, or this magazine on this gun giving you higher damage but less ammo. It just doesn't seem like that kind of game. Thankfully, I doubt we'll ever see this kind of stat mixing in tribes by items, as it would probably require quite a bit of work, and with Smite in the works, I just can't see Hi-rez spending that much time on it. But hopefully in the future we'll see more aesthetic items and customization for players to spend gold on. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Homunculus Gaming. Oh, and let me know down in the comments what you guys would like to see in the store menu. I'll see you next time.